Now, here we have a rumor that I 100% hope happens. Did Amazon Canada just leak a new Splinter Cell? What's going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. And if you missed it, I posted my review for Cube 2. I played it on the Xbox One X in beautiful 4K. The game's gorgeous, and more importantly than that, it's actually a really damn good game. So check out that video when you got the time. But oh boy, this I woke up today to some DMs, some notifications that Splinter Cell may be coming back, and I may have did a little jig because Splinter Cell is one of my all-time favorite franchises. So let me explain what exactly is going on here and why I think this might be true. So I'm on the Nerd Mag, and they kind of broke the story. They noticed that Amazon Canada had a listing for Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell 2018. Now, of course, the listing could be wrong, and some people have said that. They made a mistake. However, as they note in the article, that this version of Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell 2018 was actually listed by Ubisoft themselves. Because if you would click on this little Ubisoft icon, of course, this is a screenshot. The actual link to the Amazon Canada page itself has been taken down. If you clicked on this Ubisoft icon, it would take you to all of Ubisoft's games. So this listing for Splinter Cell was put out there by Ubisoft themselves, right? Someone else took a screenshot and saw the item model number for it was E3 Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell 2018 PC. Now this has the internet in a tizzy, has me really excited, and I'm just going through all the different kind of scenarios in my head of what this could be. Now we've heard rumors and leaks before that there was a new Splinter Cell in development. I mean, there was a leak that Michael Ironside was seen at the Ubisoft studios doing voiceover. And how great would it be if he came back? Not to say that the guy who did the voice for Sam Fisher in Blacklist wasn't good. I mean, he was fine. He just was no Michael Ironside. I need that in my life. I need a new Splinter Cell. And it's been 5 years. The last Splinter Cell game, Splinter Cell Blacklist, came out in 2013 at the end of the 360 and PS3 generation. I feel now's the time, considering Ubisoft is kind of riding high now. A lot of the things they put out, For Honor, Rainbow Six Siege, Ghost Recon, Assassin's Creed, they're riding high. A lot of the games they put out are doing fantastic. Last year they announced Beyond Good and Evil 2, which a lot of people were really excited. And the next one that people really want to see from them is Splinter Cell. So, you take all that into mind, and it's just, you start to wonder, man, Ubisoft putting the listing up for themselves, is this a new Splinter Cell game, a brand new adventure with Michael Ironside? And let's talk about that for a minute. Yves Guillemot, the guy who runs Ubisoft CEO, he's the CEO of Ubisoft, I should say. He was asked last year that they were still taking pitches on a brand new Splinter Cell, that the series isn't dead. They were just kind of wanting to see what shape and what form it would take. Now, you take that along with this listing, and some people are questioning whether or not, this is a real thing. But I also caution people to remember that last year, they all did say, Michael Ansel himself, that don't expect Beyond Good and Evil 2 to be at E3. And then it was at E3. So a lot of these executives and CEOs and people at these game companies kind of white lie. They tell you things aren't happening, so you can be surprised when it actually does happen. Is it a brand new Splinter Cell game with the return of the iconic Spies vs. Mercs? Imagine playing that in this day and age with the new enhancements they could have with better frame rates and the graphics. And I mean, because I remember playing that on the original Xbox, and the blacks were just so pitch black. I love that game mode, and to see other franchises that Ubisoft has been doing succeed in ways nobody thought imaginable, like Rainbow Six and Assassin's Creed and For Honor and Ghost Recon, it does sadden me that good old Sam Fisher is not part of that group. He deserves to be there. Now, I also kind of think, what would a brand new Splinter Cell game offer? You know, Ubisoft is very much in a games as a service mentality, right? A lot of their games are open world to give users a lot of, a big area to explore, a lot of time wasters, a lot of things to collect, outside, of course, Rainbow Six Siege, but that's a different story, and that's also a game that came out in 2015 before this kind of new mandate. So what would a brand new Splinter Cell look like? Would it be open world? Now, personally, I don't really care for an open world game. I am kind of burnt on it, but I would play 100% if a new Splinter Cell game came out and it was open world. You damn well know I'd be playing that day one or day zero, whenever it came out. I would get over my fatigue of open world. Could they follow like Metal Gear Solid 5 and use that formula to reintroduce Sam Fisher to the world? Now, personally, I would rather much see a linear Sam Fisher experience, much like the previous Splinter Cell games and like Blacklist, where you're in an area, you beat it, and you move on to the next, so you can see all these different locations. I'm just kind of not worried, but because the game they make the game, they can make the game great, they can make the game tiring. I would prefer the linear style, but I'm open to whatever these game developers come up with. Now, I can imagine the excitement a lot of people would feel, myself included, when, whether this would be at Microsoft's press conference or Ubisoft's or hell, even PlayStation's. All I feel like this game and Splinter Cell has kind of always been linked with Xbox, so I would feel it would debut there. Can you imagine sitting in the audience or watching it live on Twitch or Mixer or YouTube or wherever you watch E3, and the lights go dark and the iconic sound for Sam Fisher's goggles light up, the 3 green points of light, and you hear the ding, 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 right? And then you hear Michael Ironside's voice over the loudspeakers say, "Did you miss me?" And then they show like a little snippet of gameplay or a CGI trailer with Ironside. Oh man, people would go crazy. You'd hear cheering. Yeah, Sam Fisher's. As you guys could tell, I'm extremely excited about the potential of Splinter Cell coming back at some point. It's one of my favorite franchises, so forgive me for indulging in a little bit of fantasy at this moment. So that's kind of one scenario, like a brand new Splinter Cell game that's been worked on, under the radar, that Yves Guillemot's kind of, white lying about, all that stuff. The other thing that's interesting is Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell 2018. This is kind of the other scenario. Of course, the first scenario being that this is bull. Second scenario being that this is a brand new game with Michael Ironside. And the other scenario that I was more thinking about was the idea that maybe this is a remake or a reboot of the original. I mean, look at the listing itself. Put up there by Ubisoft. I have to reiterate, they're the one who listed it. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell 2018. Now, usually when games or movies do remakes or reboots, you kind of put the date of the new one next to it. Like the Tomb Raider was called Tomb Raider 2013. And other games have kind of done that. So what if, in the meantime of them building a brand new Splinter Cell game, which maybe be a couple years away, if Yves Guillemot is telling you the truth that they're taking pitches, so maybe a 2020 title, a game to launch next gen with. What if in the meantime, to get people, to think about Sam Fisher again, to get Splinter Cell into the gaming psyche, to get it back in the vernacular of gamers out there, that they remake or remaster the very first Splinter Cell? That's another thought I had when looking at the listing. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell 2018. Like, immediately my mind jumps to the first Splinter Cell being remade for this generation. And Ubisoft really, they've done some remasters here and there. Rayman Legends was a game that came out for 360 and also came out on Xbox One and PlayStation. Last gen, they did do the Prince of Persia trilogy and the Splinter Cell trilogy, but only on PlayStation. They're not averse to doing remasters and remakes. And this game could really benefit from, you know, higher resolution, better textures, all that stuff, because this is the original Xbox and original PS2 game. If they really did go back in and, you know, spruce it up, what if, you know, Bluepoint, the people behind the remake of Shadow of the Colossus, they are recently saying that their next project is even bigger than that. What if they've been hired to do this, to remake, you know, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, the original, you know, have it come out this year, reintroduce Sam Fisher to the world, and then tease the next adventure? I think that would be pretty damn awesome. And I'm happy, man. Like, I need this to be true. I need it to be true. Please, Ubisoft, if anybody at the offices is listening to the video, please, I don't care if it's a remake of the first game while we wait for a new one, or if it's just a new one right away. Please, I beg of you, there aren't a lot of stealth games anymore in this day and age. Give me a great Splinter Cell game. That's all I want. Have Michael Ironside come back. Oh, man, I just want it to be true. Anyways, guys, I wanted to make this video to share it with you because I am super excited about what Ubisoft potentially is going to show this year for Splinter Cell. It's so exciting to me. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button to show your support for the channel. Share this out on social media so we can get more people to hear about the potential return of Sam Fisher and Michael Ironside in Splinter Cell. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel, or if you haven't yet already. Make sure you hit the notification bell if you always want to be notified whenever I do drop content in case YouTube screws up. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.